Welcome to Tessellations with Miss Link. So I thought it might be cool to try to print make some tessellations since you're doing the same thing over and over again when you do that, right? So these are styrofoam printmaking tessellation templates. You write your name on the back with all the tape. And on the other side, look around, see what you see. I saw a bird, so I started drawing a bird. Just use a pencil or anything else that can kind of create an imprint. The color does not matter at all. Here I'm going super fast. I sped this up for you. I'm not really drawing that fast. I'm actually taking my time. And I saw a lot of things in this actually, but the bird was just the one that seemed the coolest. So you just twist it around a few ways and see what you're really into. Here I'm doing a different one. Now notice on both of these I go all the way to the corners. It just makes it easier. I don't have to do measuring when I do that. It just goes straight to the corner. And when I do this, I'm really careful. I make it really flush when I tape it. Just take my time on that part. Remember, leave the tape on the back with your name, and then on the other side, look around, figure out what you see. In this one, I saw a few things, but I really liked the girl that I could see here with her hand up and her legs to kind of to the side. I wasn't sure how to do it, so I took my time sort of figuring out as I drew how I wanted to incorporate all of her hands and feet and her face into this. I just had a lot of fun. I made a couple mistakes, and it's okay because the whole process is new, right? So you're going to make some mistakes, and that's totally fine. Don't worry. Just explore and have fun with the process. Now, those polka dots are 20 times as fast as I actually drew them. Take your time. Now you're just going to put down a little dollop of printing ink and use your brayer to spread it around. You're going to look for these peaks and valleys in there, and then listen for the sound that tells you you don't have too much ink, you don't have too little ink, and that'll give you a good print. Now I'm going to use a piece of scrap paper. I use brown paper because I didn't have it, but let's use scrap paper so we don't waste it. Then we put our art paper underneath and then turn it over, hold it with one hand while you rub with the other, and then do the same thing, alternate until you feel like the print has taken. There we go, satisfying. Very nice. We'll take it off again and take that scrap paper off and then do our next one. So you're going to go ahead and put that scrap paper back down, put the art paper down, and then turn it over and rub with one while you alternate with the other. Now I still don't get perfect prints 100% of the time, so please be kind to yourself if it's not perfect. The easiest way to clean these templates is to use a lot of water. So I go to the sink. You can use a sponge or a damp paper towel. Just take your time and be gentle. It should come off pretty fast. The trick with cleaning your table in between is that you also need a lot of water, but then once you've got that water on, you have to get that water off. So squeeze out and rinse your sponge or mop and then do it again until there's no water on the table. You can even use a paper towel to do that last final kind of clean off and then dry off your templates so that they are also not super wet when you're trying to print with them. Okay, now I'm going to put down a new color, use my brayer to spread it around. Now the trick with this is going to be fitting this tessellation template into the slots where it fits in so that you can create a tessellation where everything has no gaps and no overlaps. Put the scrap paper down and then fit it in where it goes and turn it over and gently rub, clean off my space and my tools and my tessellation templates, and just keep on doing that. Sometimes I add color in on top of what I already have, and that is a really cool way to do it. Just don't do it too many times in a row or it will fill in all those beautiful lines that you've used your pencil to create. Now if you use too much ink and your lines are filled in or too little ink and it didn't really print very well, you can still fix it after it dries. You can come back and use oil pastels, a little bit of paint if you're careful, and maybe even multimedia like gluing things on there. I'm just saying this because if you're being a perfectionist about it, if you usually like making things perfect, it's just going to be really frustrating for you because it's really hard to do this perfectly. Just keep in mind that we have computers to do things perfectly, and we don't need you to do it perfectly. Part of the charm is that they're handmade, and handmade things tend to be a little imperfect. Remember that wabi sabi idea of the beauty in imperfections, incomplete things, ephemeral things, things that are very human, things that are full of little intricate mistakes. And so don't be too hard on yourself. That's part of what will make your artwork special. All of those little imperfections that you might notice end up working together to create an artwork that has a lot of special charm. So try to cut yourself a break and look at it as if it was somebody else's artwork and go, huh, that's pretty awesome, right? Remember that when we talk about flow, part of what makes it so fun is that it's not super easy. There's a little bit of challenge. It's just a little bit hard, and that's what makes it so that you have to work really hard to get into it and really enjoy that process. So you notice as you're getting to the edge, I still filled in all of those tiny little spots with the tessellation. A lot of kids don't want to do that, so if you don't want to, you don't have to. I think it kind of looks cool, but just do as much as you want to explore and play and kind of understand the idea of how a tessellation works. It's your artwork, you finish it however you want. This is how I did mine, and here are some close-ups, but those are mine. Yours can be different, right? So just enjoy the process.